So, moving into the program, it's a treat because we have two great people, Dr. Ramsey and Dr. Brown, being introduced by students. I think it's just perfect. So I'd like to introduce the people who will introduce our keynote speakers. So welcoming to the stage, Sherry Dugas, a pharmacy student and vice president of the Associated Student Body at WSU Spokane, and Scott Hippie, a second-year WWAMI student and president of the Associated Student Body at WSU Spokane. Please come forward to introduce our speakers, and thank you for being here.
So prior to joining WSU Spokane in January 2013, Chancellor Lisa Brown served in the Washington legislature for more than 20 years, representing the 3rd Legislative District. After 2 terms in the State House of Representatives, she was elected to the Senate in 1996 and was appointed chair of the Ways and Means Committee in her first term. Dr. Brown was elected as minority leader in 2002 and in 2005 became the first Democratic woman in the state to hold the position of Senate Majority Leader. During her time in the Senate, Chancellor Brown was a passionate advocate for health science education and research at WSU Spokane, gaining state support for medical education and advanced education in nursing, as well as for the WSU Spokane's new pharmaceutical biomedical building and the soon-to-be home of medical education in the Consolidated College of Pharmacy. Dr. Brown was the prime sponsor of the bill that created the Life Science Discovery Fund, which supports innovative healthcare-related research in Washington State, and led the effort to create the state's Mental Health Parity Act of 2005, which improved the insurance coverage of mental health services for Washington residents. A native of Robinson, Illinois, Dr. Brown studied economics at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, where she got her BA, and at the University of Colorado in Boulder, where she earned a master's and PhD. Chancellor Brown was an associate professor of economics at Eastern Washington University from 1881 to 2002 and served as an associate professor in Gonzaga University's Masters of Organizational Leadership program from 2001 to 2012.
And Dr. Paul G. Ramsey is the CEO of UW Medicine, Executive Vice President for Medical Affairs, and Dean of the School of Medicine at the University of Washington. He's been at the University of Washington for 35 years and has served as Dean of the School of Medicine and the Senior Executive Leader of UW Medicine since June of 1997. Dr. Ramsey was the first holder of the Robert G. Petersdorf Endowed Chair in Medicine in 1995. He has received the Distinguished Teacher Award from the University of Washington School of Medicine's graduating class 3 times, and the Margaret Anderson Award from the University of Washington graduating class of 1989, which recognizes exceptional support of medical students. Dr. Ramsey has seen and participated in the WWAMI program's evolution over a substantial portion of its 42-year history. He is one of WWAMI's greatest advocates. So please join us in welcoming Chancellor Lisa Brown and Dr. Paul Ramsey.
Thank you very much, Scott. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you to GSI and to Rich Hadley. I have had the privilege of knowing Rich for a number of years, and GSI and Rich have always made me feel welcome here in Spokane. I have a challenge today. I have to know the names of 1,200 people. That's the greatest challenge you've probably presented me, Rich. But thank you very much for making me feel like I'm a member of the Spokane community. What a great day to be here. What a wonderful day. Summer is continuing. Summer actually looks the same across the whole state of Washington. Football is great in Washington. Not so great in Southern California or Oregon or Boise, but right? And I'm privileged to be sharing the podium today with Chancellor Brown. More about Chancellor Brown in a minute. My role to lead off today is to provide a brief orientation to WWAMI. The military and medicine are full of acronyms. I've talked with some generals in the military about whether medicine has more acronyms or the military. We have a lot of acronyms. WWAMI, WWAMI, stands for Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. WWAMI is now 40 years old. WWAMI is a perennial national champion. We're very happy when a football team goes to the Rose Bowl, but the WWAMI program has been ranked the top primary care program for more than 20 years. We lose track. WWAMI is also the most cost-effective medical program in the country. It's considered a benchmark program in the world for being high quality and low cost. That's what we need in healthcare. The basics of WWAMI are that the students, and this goes back 40 years, the students come from the large geographic region of the Northwest. They spend their first year of medical school in their home state. They spend the second year, historically, in Seattle, and then the third and fourth year of medical school, they learn medicine in the clinics, in the offices, in the hospitals of the cities of the region, but also of the many small towns, including the remote, rural, underserved areas of the region. WWAMI has worked. It has worked to become this high-quality, cost-effective program. 4 years of education across now 27% of the U.S. landmass. The Spokane community and Washington State University have been vital and in some ways unique in the WWAMI program, going back to the beginnings in 1971 when the UW School of Medicine first started WWAMI. What has happened in Eastern Washington over that time? In the beginning, in that very beginning in 1971, first-year medical students were taught by faculty at Washington State University on the Pullman campus. They still are today. The third and fourth year courses in medical school, the learning by the students in the hospitals and clinics in the region, beginning back in the early 70s, that started right here in Spokane. So Spokane 40 years ago was a site for 2 of the 4 years of medical education, and Pullman was a site for 1 of the 4 years. That pattern continued until very recently, and really GSI, Rich Hadley, many of you in the room played a role in helping us change, helping us grow, and change those programs. Certainly, Chancellor Brown played a key role in the legislature about 6 years ago now in obtaining funding for the first year of the WWAMI program to be conducted in Spokane. So it's been since 2008 that we've had 20 first-year WWAMI medical students in Spokane. And next year, the 20 students who are in Pullman will move to Spokane, so there'll be 40 first-year medical students at WSU Spokane on the River Point campus. A big change, an important change. Pullman will remain very much involved with WWAMI because we've shared teaching across the border with the University of Idaho. And faculty based in Pullman will continue to teach in that first year, but they'll do it across the border in Moscow. There are also some clinical courses, some third and fourth year courses in Pullman. So Pullman will remain part of WWAMI, but Spokane becomes a much bigger WWAMI program. And of course, the news for this year in Spokane is that we have, as you've already heard, second-year medical students in Spokane. This is a first, this is unique across the 5 states. Historically, for 41 years, we've been doing the second year of that medical education in Seattle. This year, we have those students, students who chose Spokane as their first choice. They chose to be here to be in a very exciting, innovative, new approach to teaching the second year of medical school. This means that today there are all 4 years of medical school in Spokane. I'm very pleased that that's happening. And again, thank you, Rich Hadley and GSI, for